Hello, everybody. This is Lauren Darr with International Association of Pet Fashion Professionals, and I have a treat for you today. We are here with Jerry Grymek, the doggy concierge for Hotel Pennsylvania, one of the busiest, most fashionable, dog-friendly hotels in New York City. And Bella just wanted to say a quick hello to people because she knows I have her favorite fruit snacks here on the desk, so I'll let her go. So, Jerry.
Hey there.
Hello.
How are you? Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, I know you were probably still recovering. I think of somebody like yourself that's just gone through Westminster as coming off of a hangover.
It's like a dog show over. It's you know what? You definitely need a little bit of time to sort of unwind. And I almost want to go to the dog spa we had at the hotel to relax a little bit. Go on the treadmill and get pampered because you need that after the show to relax.
I totally get it. I do. I totally get it. I can understand with all of the things that you have going on. I was there with you, and for people that don't know, we have a quick snippet on our YouTube channel of me and you kind of talking about all of that different stuff. Can you exactly what a doggy concierge is? Because I know that there are some people out there that probably didn't as a profession, and they're probably wondering, like, what in the world does a doggy concierge do?
Well, I'll tell you, it's an interesting title, and normally I handle public relations and marketing for the hotel, but during the Westminster Dog Show, it's all about pooch relations and barketing. And we have a lot of fun with this, welcoming these show dogs that I've become over the years a doggy concierge. It started as something we were having a very tongue-in-cheek, having a lot of fun with, and saying, hey, whenever the dog people are here, I can greet them. I'm going to hand out dog cookies to them. I'm going to help be a resource for New York if they have a recommendation for a pet-friendly cafe, food they could pick up for their dog, different things. And over the years, I've handled these requests for the guests and have really gone from the extreme of wacky, outrageous requests to simple ones, and just being there for the dogs and the owners year after year to sort of welcome them. It's been really interesting. I mean, that's what a doggy concierge does. You're there to greet the four-legged show dogs, make them feel like they're at home in the city that never sleeps, New York, and also to, handle paparazzi tours, as I like to call it, doing media tours and helping answer any questions about the dog show and the dogs.
Now, this year you had kind of some special circumstances because when they were doing some interviews on TV and things like that at Westminster, they were talking about how some people literally had to carry the dogs and things like that. I'm sure that the weather has a lot to do with how busy and kind of how crazy it can be. So did you have any special issues or things like that around because of the weather and all of the snow that you guys got there?
Well, that's a very good question because weather always plays a key factor, especially during that time of year. It's February. You get a lot of snow. It's still very chilly. And a lot of these dogs and dog owners, they live in Florida, nicer climates where they never see snow. So for them, it's a little bit of a shock. And that was the whole purpose of having the dog spa in the hotel, because if you would believe, it allows people to do everything for their dog within the hotel without having to go outside. Do you want to walk your dog? We have a treadmill. You want to take your dog to the washroom? We have a canine loo. You want to get groomed and bathed? Your dog, that is. It's all on site in our room-to-groom dog spa. And I got to tell you, here's a picture with Jane Bright that we had. And Jane Bright, for those that may know, from Survivor Nicaragua fame, she comes to the hotel every year, and we see her, and she always comes to support us and the dogs, and it's just a great sight. We took a photo with her, me as the doggy concierge, and it was just great to chat with her. And yeah, there you go. I'm dealing with celebrities as well that come in. Not only the four-legged celebrities, but the two-legged celebrities.
Yeah, I'm putting that some photos up now of this is the jog-a-dog area in the spa, and then we have different photos here that you have done, and it was amazing to me when we went there. there we are, you with Jane from Survivor, and I think a lot of people don't realize that Hotel Pennsylvania has these types of amenities. So that's awesome.
That's awesome. I like that. I love that. I want to use that more often. And you're so right. I mean, you look at some of those shots, and it wasn't even when it was packed. There were times where it was packed. You had people lined up using the bathroom, and it's a large room. It's one of our larger conference spaces, and it's probably the largest indoor doggy spa within a hotel in New York. I got to tell you, it's massive. We have back rooms and entrance rooms, and you saw it. It's just such a great environment. We purify the air. We have proper ventilation coming through, so it smells clean, and it's a lot of work that goes into it, but we love doing it year after year.
Now, Jerry, can you give people, it's like pre-Westminster and during Westminster in Hotel Pennsylvania, because I was astounded when you told me all of the things that you guys have going on, and it would be great if you could give someone an idea of the magnitude of what happens during that dog week.
Well, that's a very good question. I like that. And first off, I'm going to say, so as New York's fourth largest hotel, we have 1,700 rooms in the hotel, and we're just a massive hotel. And because we've been doing this for so long, we sort of know the formula, and we have a strategy, and we have a plan in place, and a work-back schedule, and all our teams are ready. They come back year after year because they want to be there for the people. They want to be there for the dogs, to see these show dogs year after year. And pre-Westminster is interesting. It's a lot of planning, discussions, setup, organization. So it's like any other regular hotel. We have regular guests coming in, but in the behind the scenes and in the lower lobby there, we're building this whole setup. We're putting together the treadmills, the Jog-a-Dog treadmills, putting up the sawdust, putting up the grooming tables and bathtubs, getting everything organized. Our welcome packages, our cookies, we're getting those ordered and delivered. All our dog magazines that we give out. Everything is organized to arrive at a set date. And believe it or not, as soon as Westminster hits, it's like you flip a switch. All of a sudden, you have 600 to 700 dogs in the hotel. It's all about the dogs. You see dog cookies, dog magazines, me with my doggy concierge name tag running around the hotel. The dog spa's doors are wide open. We have grooming tables busy, bathtubs, treadmills. It's just nonstop. And we even have vendors that come in, specific vendors to come in to sell products and offer samples to people for their dogs. It's really for the dogs, whether it's accessories, bedding, cookbook recipes, portraits, a number of items.
Well, you sort of answered one of my questions, which was since Hotel Penn is one of, frankly, a small percentage of hotels that are dog friendly, especially in the New York City area. I was going to ask you if you have an estimate of the number of dogs that come in during Westminster week, but now does that 600 dog figure, is that just show dogs, or does that also include people that decide, hey, I'm going to go to Westminster and check into Hotel Penn, since it's basically a host hotel for Westminster?
That's a good question. And the 600 to 700 is physical dogs. The owners and spectators and fans, they fill up the hotel. Let's put it that way. We get filled up. And they come from all over the world. They come from the UK, from Japan, from across the US, from Canada. And you can imagine, like, people come from Japan and China for this, and from the UK just for this show. It's that popular. Or should I say popular?
Now, I did notice, like, even when they're showing the ones on TV, they say that they come from Brazil and China. It's amazing how big the show has gotten. Now, what I need to know from you, Jerry, is how in the world do you keep all of these straight? Do you have are you personally a walking database, or do you have a check-in and a profile system for all of the dogs, or the magnitude of 600 in my mind of trying to keep that many dogs straight? I just it's beyond my comprehension, frankly.
That's a great question, and if I were to be able to memorize all of those, I would be the best. I'd have the best memory in the world, I'll be honest with you. We have a team, our front desk team. They know every dog that's staying in every room, and believe it or not, a lot of the same people come year after year that I know. They'll book the same rooms. So it's interesting because we have a database of every dog in the room, of everything, and it's all in our system because we have it all organized, because we need to know, are there 3 dogs coming into a room? Are there 4 dogs? Are they small, medium, large? And we're one of the few hotels in New York, I got to tell you, less than a handful in New York accept dogs of all sizes. We accept dogs that are 300-pound bull mastiffs, Portuguese water dogs, you name it, large dogs we accept. And we're pet friendly year round. And I got to tell you, it sounds like it's a lot, it's a big undertaking, but we have it down to a science where we know how to check them in, how to categorize them, how to put them in the system so that everyone knows accordingly, including the cleaning staff, including the front desk, including everyone in checkout. Everyone is in the loop.
Wow, that's amazing. You would have to have that down to a science, I would think.
Definitely.
I'm sure there are a lot of spokes in the wheel making it turn. Now, you mentioned people coming back year after year and requesting special rooms. And right now I'm popping up on the screen a photo, if it'll come up on the screen, of you and Uno.
Yes.
And so obviously a very special guest because Uno's been best in show. So can you talk about Uno and maybe any special requests that guests might have, even if they're a little superstitious maybe, around the best in show dog rooms or anything like that?
I love it. That's a great question. And I got to tell you, yes, with Uno was one of those dogs, and it's hard to tell which dog is going to win every year because the judges are, they're sequestered. They don't read the news, so it's hard to tell which dog is going to win. But when Uno came on the scene and he was at the hotel, he just drew so much attention from the get-go, and people knew, they just felt he was going to win. He was that charismatic. And I got to tell you, we all felt it, and he won. And it's interesting that you say that because having Uno win and stay at the Hotel Pennsylvania, one side note story I have to tell you is that whenever a dog wins Best in Show and it's staying at Hotel Pennsylvania, your entire stay is comped, if you would believe, as a bonus and as a congratulations for winning Best in Show. So Uno's stay was comped with us. He stayed an entire week with us. And ever since then, we sort of named the room during Westminster Uno's room, and people will actually call and request that room. And not only that, they'll request Uno's room, but they'll also request specific rooms that are synonymous with key numbers, whether it's astrological numbers, personal favorite numbers. A big one is whatever night they're announcing Best in Show, that date. So imagine this year it was February 17th, 217. People will call for room 217, if you would believe.
I would believe that. We have, we have the Pet Fashion Almanac, and it has an astrology portion in there. And I look at it this way: even if you don't believe in it, whether it's astrology, numerology, or anything like that, if you can stack the deck in your favor as much as possible, hey, at least try it, right?
That's exactly it. Oh, you're right. And they'll come in with their rituals. They'll have, you know what they'll do? When they're checking out, people will say, we had people this year that said, can I book the same room next year? It was a good luck room for me. I did well this year. I placed well. And they want the same room next year, believe it or not. And they've already booked it.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Oh, yeah. And we want to accommodate them as much as possible. Hey, no problem. You want the room? You felt it was good luck? We love that. We're more than happy to book it for you.
So let's talk about other things that go on at the hotel. Do you have a lot of dog-related events that get booked there? Because, obviously you're very accommodating to pets of all sizes. And like you said, you're one of the few dog-friendly hotels, especially ones that will accommodate like a 300-pound dog. So can you talk about some of the events that go on there?
Definitely. A lot of great events take place at the Hotel Pennsylvania that are sort of synonymous with Westminster, related to Westminster, or just happening during the same time frame because it's pet-related. Especially during Westminster, we'll have key things such as the New York Pet Fashion Show, which is the largest pet fashion show. And this year they had a great 60s theme. It was Rescue Revolution, and it was Peace, Love, and Rescue Revolution. It was just a lot of fun. People dressed in 60s gear, and just the runway was packed. Instead of the catwalk, I like to call it the dog walk during the Westminster Dog Show. And it was just a very good scene. And hopefully, some of the viewers will be able to check out the videos from that, just to take a look online, because I think it'll be great. Not only that, but we held the Westminster press conferences. We held 2 Westminster press conferences. These are the official ones to announce the new breeds, to talk about the agility training, and where we also did a lobby feed, which is something really great. We had local dogs feeding broadcast video to local news outlets. So, for example, a dog that was from Indianapolis would feed to a local Indianapolis news station. And we did that in our lobby. We try to do something unique every year. Not only that, we also hosted the Dog Writers Association of America, their big award banquet. And I got to tell you, that's one event where they come year after year and they just love it because it has to do with dog writers, dog media outlets, dog people, and it just recognizes their contributions to the pet world. So it's just a great, and it all happens around Westminster because that's where you get this group of all the people together for the show. And where else but in New York can you host these thousands and thousands of spectators and participants? It's the perfect place.
Yeah, absolutely. I was there for the Westminster press conference and the New York Pet Fashion Show, which was amazing. And if I can do a shameless plug, I'll tell people to keep checking our YouTube channel because we already have some Westminster things out there, but we have, coming in the next few days, we'll have the New York Pet Fashion Show, some video from that because it was amazing. I know you call it the dog walk, and I think that's great because there were so many dogs that were included, and it's amazing. Some of the over-the-top costumes and things like that. I was there dressed in my hippie garb, but I was nowhere near what some of these other people were doing.
Yeah.
But the other thing is I love about that show is you're talking about being a pet-friendly hotel. So not only were there dogs, but there were literally cats walking on a catwalk, and even things like there was the bearded dragon, and we even had the chickens that are becoming famous in New York City that are their names are Lady Gaga and Beyonce.
It's hilarious. I thought they were going to duke it out, those two roosters, like cockfighting or something like that. I thought we were going to have it. It was great.
Yeah, which one is more of a fashionista than the other, right?
That was interesting because Lady Gaga was really looking sharp, I gotta tell you. It was, imagine a all pink rooster chicken, basically. It was all pink. It was just amazing. The look of it was just amazing.
Yes, and you know, back to some of the stuff that we're talking about, like as being in charge of Pet Fashion Professionals, this association, I hear all the time people saying, like, where can I go to hold an event because places won't let me bring in chickens. You're right. You're right. And you know what? When I say pet friendly, I say we're dog friendly. We are pet friendly year round. I mean, we've had people that have brought, lizards, cats. Someone brought a bat one year because they were doing a Halloween show in New York, and they had it in the cage, and as long as you let us know, we're more than happy to accommodate you. Now, when it comes to horses, that's another question. And I'll have to defer that because horses are pretty big. I mean, I don't know if we've ever hosted a horse in our hotel. I'd have to check on that. Well, from what I understand, you probably will get that question sooner rather than later because I have heard about a horse possibly being in a pet fashion show.
Oh my God, that is too funny. Can it be a smaller horse? No problem. It's like the size of a bull mastiff, but larger ones, oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. We'd love to accommodate them.
Well, some of the horses are smaller than some of the big dogs, so that I think could be easy enough.
Yeah. I'll become the horse concierge.
I could say so many things to that I'm just not going to say right now.
It's a PG show. We have to say that. That's right. I love it.
Get your shovel, Jerry.
I know. I was going to say, we need a lot more facilities for that. Let's put it. Funny.
All right. Now, back to you being a doggy concierge. This is the stuff that I know people want the scoop on. So what are some of the strangest requests that you have gotten as the doggy concierge?
That's great. I'm telling you, the requests are what makes this fun year after year. And it starts from basic requests, like, for example, can I get extra pillows, an extra blanket? and the owner will sleep, or a cot, they'll ask for a cot, and the owner will sleep on the cot, and the dogs will sleep on the bed. Just because they want to make sure they get their sleep before. And then it starts getting more fun and outrageous. We start getting food requests. A lot of food requests. Like people will say, I need to pick up 6 cheeseburgers for my dog, no onions. This year, believe it or not, I was walking by a sub shop outside the hotel, and there was an owner with the dog saying, what sub would you like? And the dog was looking at the different photos and licking its lips. And you know what? It got the grilled chicken sub. The dog ordered the grilled chicken sub. So people will look for food. They'll get 7 cheeseburgers. They'll get pizza with spinach. They'll get chicken burgers. It's just the craziest thing. But again, it all has to do with the comfort food. Because your dog is traveling. It might be a little stressed. A little bit of comfort food and junk food, we all like that. It's like road trip food. I think it just helps them relax a little more and let them know they're doing well. Because that's a big thing. You gotta recognize dogs can read their owners and people, and if they're upset or scared or nervous, your dogs can read that, and it's all a matter of just making them feel comfortable, making them feel good before the show, because nerves will get to you at the big dog show, right? It's the biggest show. It's the biggest show, and you got to be on your top performance. So in terms of the requests, the biggest ones we get, I'd say there are 2 really that stand out. One of them requested a red carpet to be rolled out for their dog upon driving up to the hotel. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Like, the car drove up, and there was a red carpet leading into the hotel, and the dog walked on the red carpet. And it was unbelievable to see that. And the biggest one, I would say one of the biggest ones, was one dog owner requested an opera singer. And she was great. Her dog was the Spumoni Italiano breed, and the dog loves opera. And as a ritual before the show, she wanted to have an opera singer serenade her dog. And he was dressed in a top hat and a bow tie. And we set it up in our lobby where we had a table the dog was standing on, and the opera singer was singing to the dog. And the dog was howling with it and resting, and the dog loved it. It was unbelievable to see that. And it's great to see the length of what people will do to make sure their dogs are feeling comfortable before the show. That is love right there for your pet. Yeah,
absolutely. Now, you really should be getting video of this, because I think during the Westminster week, you could have like a year's worth of awesome YouTube videos.
That's right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find images from that, and I'm going to send them to you so you could exclusively show them. I'm going to send that to you.
That would be awesome. Now, you talked about and touched on the food. Now, have you had to do anything what some people would consider crazy, others may not in the dog world? Have you had to accommodate any special diets for food, or even have to have it shipped in from somewhere because this is the only thing that this dog will eat and make him feel comfortable before the show? Have you had to do anything like that?
That's a great question. In general, I'll be honest with you, we don't, because a lot of owners like to bring their own food that they've selected for the dog, whether it's their own favorite foods or whether they go out and order something because they know exactly what the dog would like. And it's interesting because there was once where someone was shipping a box of specific dog food, and we accepted it for them and we held it for them. But that's about it. People like to bring their own, surprisingly. I got to tell you, it's really interesting to see that.
I can understand that perspective, because obviously you know what your dog wants, needs, you have it on hand, and I think it's a smart decision to just bring that, bring it yourself. So I'm sure some people are wondering, are there some dogs that are more picky than other dogs, or maybe the question is it the owner that's more picky about accommodations and things like that for their dogs? I mean, obviously they're getting ready for the biggest show of the year.
That's right. That's a funny question. And it's interesting because the dogs are on such good behavior that they just stand there and they're poised, they're proper, they're pampered, they know what to do, they love the attention. But it's the owners that have been more picky. The four-legged guests have been great. It's usually the owners that are more picky because they know, they want to make sure the dogs are at the right temperature, everything's being accommodated for them. So generally, it's been more about the dogs, and it's been more about taking care of the dogs, but it's the owner that have been more pickier, and we don't mind at all because this is the big show, and they want to make sure that everything's perfect for their dog. We understand completely.
Yeah, I kind of look at it at this way. To me, it's kind of like some of the celebrity requests that places get when a celebrity may come into town for a show, or even, like my son, he races stock cars, and some of the requests that they can have when they go into a hotel can be what some people would be considered odd. But again, to me, it's all about those people have a ritual, yep, and that's their bread and butter and how they make their money. So they've got to do what's best for them in order to be at their best when they're on show or on a stage in a public forum, which, even though this is about dogs, let's face it, this is how some people really make their money, and it is kind of a celebrity status. I mean, if you didn't know who Miss P was 5 days ago, you sure do know now.
Agreed. And there's another Beagle that won. Can you imagine that? They didn't expect that. Another Beagle won. Speaking of Miss P.
Mm-hmm.
So that you're so right. You're so correct on all of that. And they are celebrities in their own right. And I'm telling you, because they're the top of the dog world, and these people get photos taken with them from around the world. And a funny story, we have a lot of people, the odd people that stay at the hotel are not here for dog show this week. Some of them came for a conference or some other event in New York, and they're very surprised to see that, if you would believe. They're actually very surprised to see the dogs, and it's a lot of fun, and we welcome them every year. I got to tell you that. And they love it because they're like celebrities, right?
Oh, absolutely. So, speaking of taking care of our little four-legged celebrities, why don't you tell people a little bit more about the dog spa and everything, all of the accommodations that happen there, because you have a huge spa in the hotel that you set up during Westminster week, and I want everyone to get a sense of what all goes on in there.
Okay, you got it. And you know what? This is great because we're going to be talking about what is possibly the largest dog spa within a hotel in New York. I got to tell you. Can you imagine we have room for hundreds of dogs? And as soon as you enter the dog spa, you check in, you get your wristband to let them know that you're a guest, and you have on your left the Jog a Dog treadmills. And we have 3 different sizes for small, medium, large dogs, just to make everyone happy. Mm-hmm. From there, we have the canine loo, as we like to call it. It's sectioned off his and her so that everyone's happy. You can go to the washroom in peace. We have little fire hydrants there, plastic fire hydrants to make them comfortable. We also have grooming tables. And what happens is with vacuums, so you want to groom your dog, you want to take care of them, no problem. You groom them, clip them, do what you need to do. You could take care of it all within the dog spa at the Hotel Pennsylvania. And we also have bathtubs. And the bathtubs are great because they can be raised up and down according to the height of the owner, because you don't want to be hunched over for 25 minutes washing your dog. It's going to hurt your back. So we have these great bathtubs that actually elevate, that can stand better. Or if you want to sit down as well, you can do that. And this is all for the dogs to make sure they're pampered before the big show. And as an added bonus, we even bring some vendors aboard to sell accessories and different products, portraits, recipes, food samples, just to give the dog and the owners different ideas on, oh, you know what, maybe I can make recipes. Here's great recipes from Steve Brooks on how I can adapt human food for my pet while making it safe for them. Great stuff like that. Great stuff that people would love to read about.
Yeah, awesome. As you were talking, I was putting up some of the photos that we have of the dog spa.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Great.
Yeah, just to give people a sense of, all of the things that you do have available there, because I was amazed when I went in and saw everything that was involved in all of the accommodations, anywhere from being able to go to the bathroom indoors so you're not out in 7 feet for the show. So before we wrap up, I do want to ask that I'm sure other people are. And that is, Jerry, can you tell people, how do you become a doggy concierge? Because you've been doing this for a while, haven't you?
That is true. That is correct. I've been doing this for over a decade. I'd say 2 dog years, about 14 years almost. Well, here's what's interesting. Becoming a doggy concierge, it's interesting because there was no schooling I had to go to per se. It's sort of a lot of on-the-job training, and I could tell you, it's with me being there every year and being familiar with these dogs and what it takes for them to be taken care of at the hotel. And I can tell you that it's years of on-the-job training, on-the-job experience, talking with the dog show people, and just getting a good handle on how important they are. Not only for the hotel, but for the city, just how important they are as a member of the family. Because honestly, when you travel with your dog has the same last name, you all will eat great food, you know, you'll go all out for the dog. They're a member of the family. And we like to acknowledge that at the Hotel Pennsylvania. And I realize that as the doggy concierge, that's one of the key things you have to realize. It's all about the 4-legged guest, not just the 2-legged guests at the Hotel Pennsylvania.
Awesome. Well, maybe you can start a doggy concierge school.
I like that. I like that. And you know what? We can have courses like pooch relations, marketing. We can have different things. I love it. Send your check to me now, right?
I could definitely see, you know, obviously you have been innovative and at the forefront of this, but as more and more hotels, in my opinion, will become more pet friendly, I could definitely see some people that are thinking, what a cool job! I would love that. I love dogs. I love people. I love the hospitality industry, and they just kind of have that mix of what it would take, or you know, just the want of being able to do it. I could definitely see that being an up and coming field.
Oh, I'm happy to be the professor. I'm happy to be that. No problem. That's good.
I think I'll even have to make a mention of it in a book that we have coming out within the next year on trends, patterns in the pet industry. Because yeah, it's something, you know, seriously to think about as people are looking at their pets as part of the family, and not separate, and bringing them along on travels and things like that. So.
I agree, and I'm more than happy to help you in any way. You let me know.
All right. Well, Jerry, this has been so much fun. Every time I talk to you, I enjoy it. I know we only met a few months ago, but we just seem to have fun together, and I enjoy everything, and I appreciate everything that you've done to, you know, help me out and talk to the people of pet fashion professionals. And you're so accommodating, you're so great, and anybody that wants or needs to deal with the doggy concierge, you're at the top of my list.
Oh, thank you. You're too kind. Thank you for having me here. I love it. It's like you and I have known each other for years, it feels like. We only met a couple months ago, like you said, but we have such great chats and we have good fun. And anytime you need anything, any exclusives, you let me know. I'm here for you.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Jerry. I will let you get back to nursing your dog week hangover.
Not all the rest, relaxation, and a nice bath. That's all it needs.
Yeah, go down there in one of those adjustable dog baths.
I'll need the largest one, though. I'll need the largest one.
All right, Jerry, thank you so much. I'll
Thanks
talk
a
to you
lot.
soon.
Take care. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.